folks. How we doing? Sounds good. Hey, I've got a hard stop too, like right at 9 a.m. my time. Just want to give you a heads up on that. 9 to 5 work. You know how it goes.
Totally.
Yeah, exactly. Suit and in office. It's gonna be. Yeah, it's gonna be one of those marathon days for me. That's for sure. It's good though. It's good. Yeah, exactly. It's good stuff. Life wouldn't be fun without them.
Nice. Lockup page for phase two, Dave. It's very clean. Nice to use.
Working on it. There's still some quirks and a lot. I don't know if you. I'm sure you get all the notifications of the tickets that are opening. So I'm trying to
Yeah.
work through those, make the information a little better. Um, it's a little delayed, so uh, I wanna. I made some changes so people could see that. Hopefully reduce the ticket counts and reduce the the concerns that people are having over time.
Yeah, love the disclaimer.
Well, that was I think Benedict had it in an announcement, so I stole it. Is this room too small? Do we need to go to a bigger room, or will it expand?
I think it expands.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think they're coming, the rest of them, soon, in a second.
Okay.
Welder, you got a haircut for Boy Day.
Uh, a- not the I didn't get like a crisp fade, but yeah, I got a little something done. I'm excited. Today's an exciting day. Lots of lots of great talk on Twitter as well. Like everyone's lots of positivity. So you still have some growing to do, right? Because Shanti said it is
Yeah.
like a okay. So you're you're gonna have quite the you're gonna have quite the head of hair at ETH Denver.
Yeah.
Okay, are they? Let me find them. How is everyone doing? It's been quite hectic the past 2 days. Here is the agenda.
Yeah. Hey, they're arriving. Oof. Oh, wow.
Nice
Did
of
not
you two to
expect
show up.
that.
Good morning, guys.
Good morning.
Buenos dias.
They're not the same person, everybody.
I look like shit right now. It's been a long few days, guys. Oh, how are we all doing today?
Great.
Gravy.
Thank you guys for pushing through and getting votes on all those things. I really appreciate it. We are crunch time right now. So, is this meeting recorded? Did anybody say?
Yes.
Yes, live to
Wait,
YouTube.
let me turn on the mic.
Hello, YouTube.
Recording
So,
magic minutes.
no, Magic Minutes are recording. So things are moving. We actually just let Benny give an update with everything.
Sure. Yeah, to be honest, everything's going really well. I am not worried or stressed at all, which is quite a nice feeling to be on a day like today. But to be honest, like Examian and Shelley and Henrik, of course, but everybody, but especially these guys have put in a tremendous amount of work to make today a success. So really what's going to be happening today is bootstrap airdrops. That's all situated away, got all the batches. I just want to wait till Henrik is back at his desk just to make sure the container I'm using is definitely the right one, which I'm sure it is, but I just want to play it safe. But they'll be going out in batch of 10. We'll do one to some team accounts first so we can test the migration of the nodes. That's just going to be like, I think like 6 or 7 of our accounts or something, which is all public knowledge. And none of those accounts are obviously getting any airdrops or anything. It's just 3 tokens just to test things out. Then we'll start iterating through the 10 different batches. I'll probably try and keep it to about 1 an hour and just monitor the situation with the migration process. During that time as well, we'll have the relays doing the migrations too. Just going to be a first come, first serve basis. Probably maybe groups of 8 individual relays, specifically, not relay runners, just to keep things moving smoothly. That'll probably go first before the batches start, just so when the nodes come over, there is capacity for them. And other than that, we're going to be running Shelley's script to do the contract deployments. That's all good. And again, tested all this stuff yesterday. Everything went really well. Very happy with it. Like really, really resilient. That'll probably happen later on in the day. Maybe it'll slip to tomorrow, depending on the timing of things. But I'm not too worried about if that happened. It's the sequencing of events and dates was done so that we can have a little bit of slippage if we need it. But honestly, everything's going really well. Yesterday, obviously, we did the cutoff for the test nets. Seeing a lot of people very happy about their allocations. We're also, being very sort of conscious of the fact that this is just an estimate. Right now, what we've done is we've opened and left the eligibility registration process. We'll probably keep that open until about 2 weeks before the actual contract funding, because what's happened is, was something we foresaw anyway, was people just, weren't really paying attention. The moment they can see the number, they're like, oh, I must do this thing, but it would have been too late if we had closed it. So we'll keep that running. I think it's a great way to enable people to aggregate their accounts and to obviously get the necessary roles to prove they're a human. We'll obviously be looking at all of the data that we've collected over the entire testnet period between now and say 2 weeks before the contract funding, so about a month. to basically manually assign, how likely someone is a human if they haven't done the sort of verification process, but also just start filtering out Sybils. I've already got a big list of them. So some of them we haven't just applied the data yet. But what I'm expecting is that people's allocations will just sort of fluctuate over the course of the next month. As more people register, other people's allocations will probably dip a little bit, but as we start filtering out some of the other Sybils, they'll obviously go back up. So I'm expecting it to all come out in the wash, but the ultimate end result is that as many tokens as possible are going to go to the true community members. But that's really been it for the last couple of days. It's just testnet wrap up. And really for today, it's just the Bootstrap airdrop, contract deployments, node migrations. Obviously, the pre-block reward early incentives are going to go live as well. We might start that tomorrow, just given the staggered approach for the node migrations, would give people who did say just happen to be in the first batch a bit of a head start. Very minor, because the way it's going to work is it's going to span the entire period. It's not going to be like phase one where it's weekly. It's just going to be like, what are your blocks produced over the entire duration until block reward starts? But that's really it. That's all the updates on my end. Just want to say thanks, guys, as well, for pushing through some of those proposals that we need, just so we can get the tokens in our hands to actually run these scripts to get the tokens into the community's hands. But all in all, everything is going really, really well. Better than can be expected, to be honest. So just big thanks to you guys, and big thanks to the rest of the community that have made this day happen, really. If anyone's got any questions, please do ask, because I know there's a hell of a lot of things happening right now. Cool. Well, we can probably roll straight into the agenda then, Shanti.
Okay, awesome. So we had a number of votes that went out. I think most of you have access to this, but I don't see a lot of you in it. So just as a reminder, we have a proposal tracker here. And this is basically where you can see anything that has been voted on by all of you and what the status is. So if you ever have any question about the nature of the process and where something stands, you can go to this tracker. So next, yesterday there was so many votes that went out, but I saw a bunch of comments in the chat about the different proposals. So I thought we could just spend time now if anyone has questions on any of the specific votes or any of the issues, any issues they had with any of the votes that went out yesterday or the day before. We can discuss it now. Okay, saw some comments from Wilder, from Batman.
Yeah, I can kick off for the most recent one with the CoinStore marketing proposal.
Okay.
I think that we want marketing and quality marketing for the launch. So it's definitely a need. But in reviewing the proposal that they shared, it looked like it was a little bit. They gave us a range of what the expected interaction would be, and it seemed to be like they were boosting the numbers a little bit based on what I could see on their timeline. That being said, I wanted to have a more concrete way to justify that, and I compared it to what Shelley May had presented in the proposal forum, where it's making videos, has roughly 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, and the kind of traction that she gets with her videos, and I think it reaches a greater audience per dollar versus what CoinStore is offering. That being said, from what I can tell, almost all of the funds going to CoinStore are going back to the community. So I think that makes it a competitive proposal. And then my only hang up after considering all of that was, what does it mean to be a part to CoinStore? The idea that we would be making announcements to our community about things that CoinStore is doing, and the way that any obligations that we have on communication by being a CoinStore partner. I think just a little more clarification would be nice. Do we always have to parrot what CoinStore is doing, and what is the kind of stigma around CoinStore in the general scene? Is it a smart move to make CoinStore the first partner exchange? So I just wanted to maybe get some more clarification on that and gauge where everyone else's head is at. overall, low cost marketing makes sense to do it, but I think clarifying that would make it a yes for me.
I think it's some good feedback, to be honest. Yeah, I would just start by saying this is fully optional. This is just an extra bonus they're throwing us. So if we don't want to do this, we don't have to at all. Completely free. They're just like, here's, well, free, cost tokens for the marketing. So I'm not opposed to us even just saying no and be like, no, thank you very much, not for us. But if you could send me all the questions you have, Wilder, then I can just send it to them, and then I just get the answer straight from the source instead of me trying to guess it. That would be fantastic. But yeah, I think it's a good summary of it, to be honest. So yeah, good job.
Yeah, just a couple comments. I kind of put some thought into this one last night and was thinking a little bit about, what are the outcomes that we're looking for? And one of the things that I think of is a lot of those coin store, a lot of those folks that are using that application, that exchange, they are probably not the type of people that are looking to start to play around with DeFi, DEX exchanges, those types of things. They're probably more there for the trade. So any exposure that we can give them to the broader ecosystem, it's probably good exposure and visibility for us, just because those folks probably, they're not going to be our core users. And if we can capture any of those folks that are right there, to then take a closer look and become a core user, I think that's the outcome that we're really looking for, rather than trying to get our existing community to go buy tokens from there, or try to get or even have the assumption that those folks are going to buy the tokens and then put them on a Kinesis wallet and then exchange using dexes. So it's really, hey, more visibility for people who are there speculating to then be curious and to start to dig in further. So that was the big reason why I gave it the thumbs up.
Yeah, it was when I was talking to them very briefly, they were a little bit wishy-washy on it, because exactly right. Like, it's very much just exposure. I think they were struggling to even put together the outcomes they would expect. So you do take the numbers with a pinch of salt. It's very much just high level eyeballs, people getting the brand out there kind of thing to their existing community. But one thing I would love to do is, any of the marketing that we are doing is trying to drive people towards the staking program. I don't know if it's possible with this proposal. I can't remember off the top of my head right now, but any of them that are going to be coming to us with any of the exchanges as well, I think that's got to be the priority. Is, we don't want to just drop tokens and they have them on the exchange. We want them to pull them off, put them in a Kinesis wallet, and start participating, which is tough. There's quite a few big barriers in the way to get there, but I think anything we can do to improve the chances is great. And exposure, if it's cheap, is still pretty decent.
Anyone else on this proposal or any other topic that was pushed through yesterday? Okay. If not, I reserve time now, Chris. Do we want to talk about the node migration that's happening today?
I mean, kind of rattled through it earlier, to be honest. Not really too much more to say on that. Just, it's going to be batched. All the community, keep your eyes peeled. The moment free boy hits your wallet, you're good to go, basically. And Henrik will later release a web page which has the full instructions on how to do the migration. If you're already running Voice Warm on testnet and it's alive and kicking, it's going to be very, very easy. It's just copy paste the commands. I'm sure there will be some edge cases, and I have noticed there have been people that have already manually done the migration, but obviously don't have the tokens to go online. So I hope they did it correctly for those guys as well. But yeah, it's probably going to take the rest of the day to get all the nodes over, and I expect it probably to maybe leak into tomorrow if it's a bit of a late one today. And obviously we're in kind of the latter part of the time zones of the world, so I think there'll be a lot of people on the former who will probably have to wake up tomorrow and do it instead.
Okay. So in terms of like pending proposals, we still have D-Light's proposal that I don't, as of yesterday, I didn't see any comments from him, but that is an urgent proposal, a retroactive grant for ecosystem services that still needs to go through.
Could I
Is
speak?
there
I'll just that briefly.
okay?
So Fury stepped up to be the network committee lead. So shout out to him being the first one to go for that position, and take on some responsibility. He's doing a great job as head moderator as well. He did reach out to D-Light. I think the proposal that we're looking at in the proposal forum is in its final state based on his feedback, and I think we've reached a point where we can vote on it. And for those who haven't been following along, it started at 8,000. It's been negotiated below that at this point, and I think we can. I think we have everything we need to make a decision at this point. And I'd like to thank D-Light for the services rendered when he did it for July and August. So appreciate you, D-Light. Thank you for all you've done. And if someone out there wants to become the next stress tester, the role is available.
Okay. And the other proposal, I think, is one that you are working on, Wilder, the bridge functionality.
That is my main focus. The bridge currently is being tested only by Ludo right now for EVM functionality. So I'm going to say it wrong, but Sepoila is what they call the EVM testnet networks. It's a consistent naming convention, but essentially Arbitrum and Base, I believe, are being tested right now by Ludo only on his Soldier network. So though he had successful transactions there, he's currently making the front end for the EVM functionality so we can all test it. And he is implementing the previous feedback we had for the user interface. I've also had a conversation with him around the best way to get feedback to Ludo, and he's kindly asked that going forward we use GitHub issues to post onto his front end. So I think that's just meeting the developer in the middle, and even if it may be a little more difficult for us feedback providers to get involved and do it that way, we want to make Aramid a success. We want it to be live as soon as possible. So I've encouraging everyone who's part of the Aramid testing squad, make a GitHub account so you can put your own issues in, and we can get going once those updates are pushed. But it's happened. There's been a transaction from Void testnet to an EVM testnet. We just can't see it yet, but progress is happening.
Okay. Chris, is this an urgent one for October 1st? I can't hear you.
Ludo's bridge. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
For the staking
we
program.
want it before MainNet, so. Is he asking for something?
I think to get it done in time for the staking program. So obviously that starts on the 30th of this month. I think what he's asking for liquidity, right? Am I correct in that? Or is it a grant to build it? Or are we just talking about making sure that he has everything he needs to get it done?
From what I've seen, it was just the getting it over the line. The only liquidity request was for PAC, but please correct me if I'm wrong on that.
So he is asking for money for this?
I don't think so. I think
Yeah.
No,
No,
not
he's
that I've
not. No, he's not. I had thought that there is a proposal going through.
All right, no, there's no proposal. We're just
It's
talking.
not been
No,
created yet.
that might be a miscommunication on my part when I was bringing up how do we incentivize Ludo to get it over the line. But we've talked to him. He understands it's in
Okay.
Aramid's best interest to be the main bridge, and there's no proposal. And if there was, it would be coming from Ludo. But at this point, he's working as fast as he can. I have been told it's his top priority, and he's making progress, which we should all be able to see this week. And for those community members who are curious, constantly communicating with Ludo. We are going to make it in time for mainnet trading, and I do think Ludo is capable, but he needs our support. So when I do send out the messages in the DeFi committee for testing, please contribute, because the more quality feedback we can give them, the better the first experience for all those Voyagers on Base and Arbitrum will have, or Ethereum, because this will be the first time they ever experience Voy. They might even use the bridge before will probably use the bridge around the same time they'll use Cabesis, but this is like the first impression. So we want it as great as it can be.
I mean, so ideally, I agree with everything you said, but one of the things I think that we really should, a proposal that should go out is a proposal for Voy being bridged over and staked on Uniswap, or something of that sort. So our market maker said that they would do it, but we should think about a just in case scenario, because it would be much better for people to be able to buy wrapped Voy on Ethereum, because they'll be much more used to that. And if they want to bring it back over to be able to stake, then they can bridge it back. But that's one thing that we think that we need to do. Like I said, one of our market makers said that they would do it, but we would also need to make sure that we hold our hand on how that they can do that.
Would those be similar amounts, like around 50K total TVL? Is that where your head's at, like with what Pact would be seated with in that range, or?
Yeah, the way that because Uniswap V3 has the ability to you can put your tranches in, you can actually weight it more heavily towards Voy. So it's pretty much the only way that you can actually trade is from Voy, or from USDC to Voy, not the other way around. So we wouldn't need a big USDC push. We just need to find somebody who will know how to do that correctly. I don't. I just know that can be done. I've never done it myself though.
Cool. So we could coordinate this with sort of like a funding proposal, something community owned, but we could probably ask the market maker to aid us in getting it all set up if they have that expertise.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. And then because you have a couple of proposals going through, I know that, so Andrew told me he was working with you, Wilder, as far as a incentive for liquidity. I don't know if you're ready to talk about that yet. But also so incentive for liquidity is what you're working with him. Like, he has put a proposal through for initial liquidity, which isn't really a grant. It's just more so of us earmarking amount of Voy to make sure that it's in Humble, ready to be swapped.
More like a loan.
Because it's not even a loan. It's like we will maintain the liquid, like the liquidity tokens.
Got you. Yeah, that makes sense.
I can talk a bit about the. Oh, Shelly, sorry, you go, and I'll talk about.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that maybe you should, for the bridging, you might ask Ludo about any like minimum liquidity that would be needed in the production bridge, because I know that he mentioned it before, like the bridge needs a certain amount of tokens on some liquidity. So if you figure that out early, you could streamline it and have it ready for the time it's ready to to be operated. Just just check with Ludo.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I'll so I do know there's some degree of bootstrapping they'll need. I think this could be a good conversation to bring Daniel in on, but to answer it, yes. And the way the bridge works is it doesn't like wrap it based on the network it's from. So like you could have someone bring in funds from Base and then withdraw them to Arbitrum, and it would need to do the balancing itself internally. And I think they do have somewhat of a budget to handle stablecoin balancing, but I'll definitely bring that question up, because there's also an opportunity to provide a very small amount of Voy to bootstrap people who have made a new account on Voy and don't have any Voy in that wallet, and also don't have access to a centralized exchange to get it. So I think there could be an opportunity there to make onboarding a little bit easier through the Aramid bridge, where we just cover a transaction fee, essentially, and potentially an opt-in for the ASA. So I'll bring up both.
One of the things that's just this came up now, just love your thoughts on this, is like, what if we do a proposal that's like 100 Voy for each council member to give out in small batches for people to like to try things out. Where it's like, if you see somebody's needing something, here's a couple of Voy, I know you're into it, but you know, at your discretion. It's not a ton of Voy, but just be part of the community and saying, hey, here you go, have fun.
It wouldn't be
I know I
enough
would
for
like it.
Haruf to get you know, his NFT project listed first overall, but I'm sorry, I have to make a joke about it. I'm sure he's watching.
Because like the thing is, like, I mean, I don't think you need more to launch an NFT project, but there can be a lot of people that are in Discord or tweets or something that was like, hey, I'd like to try this out. You know, shooting over a Voy, like, here you go, here's a Voy, go have fun. Or thanks for doing that cool thing you did. Here's a Voy, you know.
I think it makes sense for also interaction on spaces. I find that's where a lot of those requests
Yeah.
come from.
Yeah.
Because in Discord we can use the rain bot. Shout out to Algo League and Easy Tiger. But yeah, that'd be great for spaces, for more organic.
Spaces, also, you know, different types of giveaway raffle type of things. Just get more engagement overall from the community members that have been waiting for it to go live on MainNet. You know, because I know I've heard that quite a bit in spaces. Is like, oh, I want to participate, but it's not live. You know, that type of thing. So now it is, and it gives an opportunity to, you know, participate in that way for sure. So I'd be in favor of it.
Sounds good.
I'll go into the DeFi reward document. This was brought up in the committee meeting, which we had people in the Caymans for, so not everybody got to see it. But this is a work in progress. This was modeled off of what other chains are offering for their base asset against USDC or T. And I went in the second page. I've linked the document in DeFi LP rewards. You can find this document in the DeFi committee thread for Voy USD Farming Squad. And this started with a target APY of 30%, and it was a growing APY based on the amount of liquidity on chain to promote spreading. And it's better for you to tell other people to provide liquidity, because your APY will increase. This had a target of 10 million in 1 year. I just want to recognize that is ambitious, but not impossible, but very ambitious. And the way that this is laid out is the amount used would scale based on how much is being provided at one time. I have a call with Andrew right after this meeting where we're going to get more details and make this something that can be submitted as a proposal. But just so everyone has an idea, I tried to model this out as clearly as I could, so you could just look at the first page. But if you want where I found the comparisons or where the numbers came from, check out tab 2 for chain comparison, where it goes into what base Arbitrum near other chains are offering. And I think this does a great job of enticing people on base specifically, and Ethereum to want to come over. So that'd be a huge amount of stablecoins being encouraged to come over for a great yield. So I'll leave that there. Please, people, if you have comments on it, if you want to join Andrew and I, also, he's organized it with me, but anyone's welcome to join. We'll hold it in the open office in Discord just to make it easy for anyone to drop in. But that meeting will be happening at 12, or right after this. Okay, that's all for me. Let me know what you think.
Thanks, Wilder.
I'll definitely have to catch up with you on that after the fact because I won't be able to make it, but I'm super interested in it and definitely we'll sync up on that one.
Okay. The last proposal that I had flagged was the council payout one that was put on hold, or what was this one? Because that I haven't heard about in a while. Not that it's necessarily urgent.
I've not looked at it in a very long time, I think.
Okay.
Well, not since we last spoke about it.
I think all the council members looked at the document that Shelley made, and I believe it had our support and that it was aligned with what the community wanted. I believe we all had a chance to talk about it. I don't think it's been formally submitted. I don't think we voted on it with a straw poll, but I do know all the
No.
council members met and talked about it. But I'm sure we could move that along and let the community see what we're thinking and be transparent with them.
I would get out to the community ASAP, to be honest. Like, they're the ones that you guys represent, so more time they have for feedback, the better.
Okay. That's the only one that I had a question on. Yeah, otherwise, how is the straw poll working? You know, we have some people, like, I feel like if I was on the other end, it might be quite overwhelming. I also am not sure of a better way. There is Scotty suggested Google Forms. I think people said straw poll is better. So we're definitely open to suggestions. I think
I
one
like
of
how
the
there's now the second channel that just has the polls there separate so that we can just scroll through and see what's been proposed. So I love that addition.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think that was also easier for me. I think one concern is with the votes, we don't have a timestamp. I don't know if that's ever needed at some point. I think if
On
we're
that
trying,
on that voting channel, can you disable comments so that we keep it kind of like clean? So it's
clean.
just the votes.
Okay, yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, my bad on that one. Yeah,
No
Okay.
names,
I
no names,
realized.
Wilder.
Cody, can you help me do that to disable the comments for that one? I'll check to make sure that that's done. That's a good idea. Okay, well, if everyone thinks that is working, that's fine. That is actually all of the agenda items that we have here today. So does anyone want to bring anything up in the roundtable?
I wanted to verbalize in what you'll see with the council document or what we're looking at with PACT. I think I have learned about how market making has worked. There's been a lot to learn, and the core team's done a good job in educating us. But in proposals where you see U.S. dollars included, the way that where they come from, if you will, as a community who has only VOI tokens, we will need to utilize the market makers that we do have. So if people do have questions, and I've seen people asking for proposals in US dollars or VOI, I just wanted to be very clear that any time that US dollars are included, we need to think about that kind of the impact that it can have on the token price, because it will be a sell event. And it's a different kind of pressure than when someone's being awarded tokens or vested tokens. So just I want everyone to understand that, and it's not like we're getting loaned or there's US dollars coming out of there's no magic place for US dollars or someone that we're doing loans to get it. So just keep that in mind, and please share your feedback on that strategy. From what I understand, that is our only recourse at this time. So it's a very small amount right now. I think we're set up really great with the launches and the market makers we do have to make it not a meaningful impact, but just when you see 25,000 US dollars for a liquidity pool, or a certain amount of US dollars required for a marketing event, that's where it's coming from.
I think all proposals should be in VOI tokens anyway, right? Yeah, you can do some calculations below, but the ask and what it sent is going to all be in Voy.
I think the packed one was probably the main one I was commenting on, where they require stable coins and where do they come from. But yeah, in general, they should be in Voy, you're right.
Cool. Shelly, you had your hand up.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say, like, a lot of most of the time, the proposals will be for some dollar amount, just for like a point of reference, but when it comes down to it, it's going to be Voy dollars, dollars and Voy.
I was gonna ask about D-Light's proposal. Like that one is written as US dollars. Is that really the USD equivalent at the time that it's going to be funded?
Yes, in Voy TWAP, it's been modified, or at least it's been explained. D-Light understands that it will be paid in Voy tokens.
We should probably adjust like the proposal tracker so that the requested amount, like, it's nice to have it as like the USD expectation, but like something to just signify whether it is going to be actually USD that's going to require a sell, or maybe even a column that's just like will require a sell event, just to make it extra clear about what would and what wouldn't.
The tracker is awesome, Scotty, by the
Yeah,
way.
it is really
But yeah,
awesome.
that's a good point.
Yeah, it's good.
Good point, Dave.
Scotty's done an awesome job with the tracker, so we can add that for sure.
I'd love to talk about some confidential stuff, unless somebody else has another topic.
Yes,
Me
let's
too.
finish the non-confidential stuff first. I don't have anything, but I just wanted to say thank you to everyone for being so fast with the votes. It's been really great because I know it's not easy and people have full-time jobs too. So thank you for keeping track with all of that. Okay, so like you want the magic minutes turned off and everything?
It's I think YouTube as well, just so we don't say things out of turn. But yeah,
Okay.
Thank
All
you,
right.
YouTube.
Yeah. Cheers to everyone watching. Have a great day.
I think they cut it off already.
Recording stopped.
Oh, there you go. I heard it now. There's a delay on my end, but
That's the recap. That was the minute.
it's the magic minutes, is it? Got you. Cody, are we all good to go? Wait for thumbs up.
And the secondary thumbs up.
Yeah, all the thumbs.
Cody.
He's probably having to move around a few different windows or something.
Well, I think he's also hosting a space, a
Oh,
marathon.
he's hosting a space. All right. Let me see if he sent a message.
He's got the
we
double
are
duty.
still we're still live. So just I'm watching the YouTube channel, waiting for it to go down. But someone may need to hop in that space.
It might just have us muted.
I can kick him out. If I kick him out, then will it do it?